right, thank you so much for staying with us. Multipolitan is a platform for borderless living, headquarters in Singapore. It builds freedom infrastructure and globally mobile individuals by combining a product-led immigration platform with a mobility app that makes it simple to live, work, and thrive anywhere. Now, the Digital States Project is a flagship report by Multipolitan, examining how emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, and metaverse and orbital infrastructure are fundamentally reshaping statehood, governance, and citizenship. Now, Nirbhay Handa is a lead global voice on cross-border living and global mobility. He is the CEO and co-founder of Multipolitan, where he provides strategic leadership in shaping innovative solutions for internationally mobile individuals and families. Hello, Nirbhay. It's good to have you. He joins me live from Singapore. Thank you for your time.
Tolu, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, beautiful report. The report suggests that in the future, people will log into nations, not just to fly into them. How realistic is this shift, and which countries are already leading the way?
Thank you very much for the question, Tolu. So we're already seeing that shift. Historically, nation states were always defined by their borders. They were always defined by the physicality of their landmass. But now what we see is sovereignty is getting decoupled from geography. And a good example of that would be what Estonia has done with their e-governance protocol. So you could be based in Lagos, but you could still open a company in EU through Estonia's e-governance. We see something similar with the island of Palau, where you could get a digital residency without you being physically in the island of Palau. And what UAE and Singapore, they've done with UAE Pass in UAE and Sync Pass in Singapore, you can access many civic amenities just digitally. So what that says is, in the future, resources will not just be inherited. The new metrics of national appeal would be digital infrastructure, fiscal neutrality, and without bringing people physically into your country, you could still have a lot of citizens around the world who can use your e-governance protocols as they are using it in Estonia and Palau.
But looking ahead, what is the biggest mindset shift Nigerians need to make to thrive in the world shaped by global cities, digital states, and borderless opportunities?
Tolu, thank you for that question. So I think the first thing would be we are walking into a remote-first world.
Okay.
And Nigeria has impeccable young technology talent. You have universities such as FUTA and Lautech, and I'm personally speaking to many tech candidates from these places. In a remote-first world, you could be working for a company in New York City, but you could very well be based in Lagos, or very well be based in Calabar, which has the potential to be a nomad-friendly city. So Nigerians can locally create value globally in the remote-first world. So that's the number one. The number two piece would be Nigeria can immensely benefit by digitizing their civic infrastructure, what UAE has done. So UAE Pass has almost 11 million users. They've been able to save more than 15 million human hours, and they've been able to save more than $4 billion by just digitizing their public administration. So the benefits of digitizing your civic infrastructure could be far-reaching for Nigeria. The third piece could be Nigeria can really enhance build from Nigeria narrative globally. You already have many unicorns, Flutterwave, OPay. Stripe looked into buying Paystack. I think they've already purchased Paystack. Visa invested into InterSwitch. So Nigerian entrepreneurs can build global brands. And this decade in the future could be a breakout decade for Nigeria and entrepreneurs based in Lagos.
More interesting, I must say. Now, my next question, from a business advisory standpoint, what signals should Nigerian founders and executives take from the Digital States Project when planning long-term growth?
Great question, Tolu. So one of the things that we see is if you look at the Nigerian population, more than 50 million adults in Nigeria, they don't have access to a bank account. So if Nigeria can embrace stable coins or digital assets, that can really become lifeline for the unbankable. The second piece that we could take away from the digital state project is
who is coming from
many people in Nigeria, they do not have IDs, which is called the NIN. Nigeria can create blockchain-based digital identity protocols that Palau has created, which are cost-effective and very transparent. And as a result of that, provide digital IDs to millions of people, making public administration a lot easier. And the third piece that Nigeria could possibly benefit from, it already has immense entrepreneurial gravity, but can it reduce friction for entrepreneurs to come and build from Lagos? So things like how soon can you open a company bank account in Lagos? How soon can you set up a company in Lagos? Friction is a form of entrepreneurial tax. So can Nigeria eradicate friction and make its cities more founder friendly? I think these are the three things that possibly could be used in Nigeria from Digital State Project.
Now, countries like Ukraine and Palau are already experimenting with digital citizenship and e-residency. Let me say, what lessons do you think Nigerian policymakers and institutions should be paying attention to with regards to this development?
I think they should pay attention to it. In Ukraine, a lot of the developments have come at the back of wartime stress. So they don't have too many human hands to handle public administration. So they are moving towards something which we call it as the agentic state. And what agentic state means is that AI is not just the enabler, it is essentially the executor. So adversities can sometimes create beautiful things. And the track that Ukraine has gone on by digitizing many of their government departments is an example to the world. The second piece, now Palau is a small island. It doesn't have many natural resources, but in the digital first world, it can still attract many, many entrepreneurs from around the world. So if you look at the Palau residency, which is based on root name system RNS, it has more than 3,000 residents, and these people are not necessarily living in Palau. So Nigeria could also possibly look at e-governance protocols, make use of its robust free zone infrastructure, its constitution. For example, Calabar has a free zone which was established in 1992 and attract global entrepreneurs and bring them to use Nigerian e-governance to build their businesses. So that is another aspect that Nigeria can look at. What it could possibly look at Estonia towards is Estonia's X-Road. So what that means is in Estonia, different institutions are able to exchange information. So if you change your housing address, your bank would know, your hospital would know, your school would know. It's called the once only principle. So just looking at the protocols Estonia has built, what Palau has built, and what Ukraine is doing, the entire world can learn from these small places and the systems that they're building in this age.
Now, from your perspective again, how does global mobility intersect with economic resilience?
Very good question. So would you invest in your entire wealth into one stock? You wouldn't, right? So we say the same thing to entrepreneurs. Would you keep only one residency in this volatile world, right? Seeking an alternative residence is a great means to hedge your overall sovereign risk and build resilience. So entrepreneurs should open up companies in different parts of the world, get access to different jurisdictions. That's number one. The number two piece is we're walking into a highly multipolar world. So you've got the G7, you've got the BRICS. So let's say if you're a BRICS entrepreneur, maybe you're better off getting exposure to a G7 country through its alternative residency. Or let's say if you're a G7 entrepreneur, you're better off having a residency in a BRICS nation. So you still remain exposed to a BRICS country while there is this multipolarity when it comes to capital and mobility. The third piece, which you and I, we could relate the most, is we're seeing this massive intergenerational wealth transfer from boomers to millennials. There's almost going to be $300 trillion that's going to move in. And people who are millennials and Gen Z, they are internet first, territory second, and they're highly transnational. So the bottom line is the world is on the move. We have more than 300 million immigrants, more than 40 million digital nomads, and we can't change it. So let's embrace it.
But finally, before I let you go, because for young Nigerians who are navigating through inflation, currency volatility, limited local opportunities, what would you say this means for them? The report and, of course, e-residency platform.
Well, it could be something very interesting. As I said, in a location-independent world, even if Nigerian entrepreneurs go out and build businesses globally, they can still hire highly talented young people back in Nigeria, right? So Nigerian entrepreneurs on the move will also benefit Nigeria because of that. And the second piece is there are not many consumer markets in the world that can match the propensity of Nigeria, the scale of Nigeria. So if you are a consumer tech business, Nigeria is the place to be and go out and build a business which is going to have scale. So to global entrepreneurs, seeking an alternative residence, a great way to build resilience, but Nigerian entrepreneurs going out and building businesses can also benefit Nigeria in a remote first world where they can employ young talent, young technology talent that is graduating from places like FUTA and Lautech and employ them. And as I said, a place like Calabar has huge potential to be a city which is extremely nomad friendly on a global scale.
To live it. We'll keep a tab. What more should we be expecting for Multipolitan as we move in 2026? Let's wrap up with that.
So, Tolu, we've got lots coming. We'll be launching our second report, which is The Future is on Chain, which speaks about stable coins and cryptocurrencies. And then we're coming up with our nomad-friendly cities index. And as I said, we are evaluating a couple of cities in Nigeria who could fit the bill for that. So there are going to be some amazing research coming out, and we will keep you posted.
All right, then I must thank you so much. Nirbhay Handa is a co-founder and CEO of Multipolitan. He joined us live from Singapore. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Tolu, for having me. Chat soon.
All right, then. Great stuff.